Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant. Today we are at the next topic and we are going to discuss a bit about the Queen Endgame. We are going to discuss one or two very important fundamental principles of Queen Endgame. Just like any other endgame, it is said that the centralized queen is capable of helping or aiding the movement of our own passed pawn. How? The centralized queen helps to stop the opponent's enemy queen checks. And this position is a typical example of that thing. The queen is centralized. I have taken an easy example. Later on we are going to look at some complex or lengthy cases. Here the black king is poorly placed. Generally the king should be placed far away from the opponent's pawn. It should not be on the same lines. It should be at one of the corners away from the pawn. The reason being, when this black queen gives check, the white queen will try to interpose, and that too with a check or using the relation of this king, queen and the pawn queen. So this is what we will see here. The black queen is right now struggling to cover the squares. It has only this diagonal, because if the pin is removed, pawn would queen. Generally what happens, as soon as the king moves, the queen starts giving check. There will be qb3 check for instance, then queen f7, then again queen g3 check. King as soon as moves to f8, again we pin the pawn. So that thing is always possible. Queen can even go to d6. So here white is trying to run out the black moves and he uses the very strong move. He stops the enemy queen checks, keeps under control and plays the very strong queen e5. Queen maintains the position in the center and puts black in a zugzwang. Here we notice the poor placing of the black king. Right now we see, if the queen has to maintain the pin, then queen has only the square a3. The king moves are bad. We can see that after king a3, there is just the queen a1 check forcing kb3, queen check, queens are traded and the e-pawn queens. The black queen doesn't have any check. See, thanks to this centralized queen, no queen f4 check, no qb8 check. Both the squares are guarded. After queen a3, white moves the king in such a way that the queen on the black squares cannot give check. So king g7. See how beautifully this queen is covering all the black squares from where this queen would have given check. b2 c3 are guarded, g3 is guarded, queen can't take e7, it's supported, and now whatever is done, next move will be e8 queen. So in the game, black played kb3, the only way to play on. But now again comes same idea. Q e6 check, queen interposes, then it will be taken and pawn queens. So after any move like king a3, b2, c2, c3, whatever, white again uses same idea. He goes kg8. The queen does fantastic job shielding the checks from the black queen. See, c4, g4, whole diagonal, and the move qb8 is just met by e8 queen when white wins. So this position, we can see that black has absolutely nothing to stop the pawn from queening. So we saw a case where the centralized queen helps. Let us look at one more slightly different case. Let's look at the next example here. The characteristic of this position is again somewhat similar. There are some other features in the position as well. The queen is similarly centralized. It will help to stop the checks from the black queen. The king here is far more badly placed than the previous case. So white is able to use a typical tactic. See, white who is point down in the position generally will try to look for a draw in these kind of positions. But due to the poor king placing, in the last position we saw already there was a passed pawn. Here white is able to create a passed pawn. So the first move is slightly difficult to find. White creates a mating threat actually. He goes with the move f5. Idea is simple. See, queen f4 is the mating threat. So if g takes f5, q f4 mate. And the point is simple. If black just plays anything like g5, there is just e6. When we will see that after fe, the e pawn is very difficult to stop. Because if the queen goes away, then queen e4 checkmates as well. So black had to play the move kf5. Till here things look fine. What will happen? Why he gave the pawn? But there comes another blow. e6. Look at this now. Now the again same type of problem. Queen or pawn, whoever takes e6, then queen f4 mates. Note queen checks by black and there are two threats, e7 queening the pawn and ef. Black tries best with qd8. White goes e takes f7. Still it looks as if the white queen goes away there is qd2 check. But see the nicely placed white queen and the poorly placed black king here. The passer is already created. Black now goes with the move king f6, trying to attack the f7 pawn, but white had seen the move queen e8, attacking the queen on d8. See, abandoning the d2 square. After qd2 check, white had seen that there is kh3. Since the black queen is not very much centralized, it cannot give any more checks. d7 is guarded, and if he tries to go qd1 for let's say qh1 mate and all, f8 would come with a check and white would mate black soon. So this is how white won the game. So mainly we discussed the principle of centralized queen and how the pass pawn can be promoted in these kind of positions. Do let me know in the comments below how you find these positions. Thanks for your time.